This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HJEMFZ.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworkers.
Hey, what is going on, guys, gals, aliens, and degenerate crypto enthusiasts? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. So I hope you had a good weekend. Holy crap, we had another mega liquidation event in the crypto markets, and it kind of all ties into what is leading up into the first week of December. We're here in December 1st. We were kind of speculating that we were going to be rallying into the rate cut, which is supposed to happen on December 10th. So right now we're seeing the consolidation, we're seeing the liquidation happen, we're seeing kind of a sweep of the market again, and some, I think, key players got completely wiped out, and we're still seeing the washout from the October liquidation event that happened on the 10th of October. So I think the market's still kind of shaky, and we've just seen the unravelings of this, and right now I think it's perfectly timed with Jerome Powell and the Fed going into quantitative easing. So we've been tightening for the past few years, and we've been pretty maxed out on the interest. It's not the highest it's ever been, but it's been pretty high in terms of the inflation and in terms of how much of the money supply has been in circulation, because even if the interest rates were higher than 5-6% back in the day, the money supply wasn't as much. So it translates a little different now. And now we're seeing the effects, and we've never seen this type of inflation before. And so what do we do with all this? Well, we have some charts to show you today, and we're going to get into some Bitcoin altcoin analysis. We are going to show you guys, we're going to show you some cool charts. We're going to show you what we kind of predicted last night and yesterday, but give me just a second. Hold on. All right, we're good. We're good. So we were looking at Bitcoin. Yo, we got Kenneth Lodge in the house. Let's go. We got Lasers in the house. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you had a really awesome Thanksgiving. And so what we predicted last night, or over the past couple days, even from Friday, because we said that there was going to be an inverse head and shoulders pattern playing out. And it kind of, it played out. You can see here, you have the shoulder here, then you have this head. It was a little bit more of a V shape, but then it formed the head. You can see it. And then here's the neckline on the inverse. And then usually when you get these patterns, it chops around sideways and you just don't know exactly where it's going to go unless you're checking the order blocks and also the MACD cross for bearish or bullish setups. So in this case, for it to be a inverse head and shoulders and recover here, we saw that on the bottom here, we had the blue line cross over the orange, and we had the histogram cross into the green, which means that selling was exhausted and we started to get more buying pressure instead of selling, at least on the Coinbase chart here on the 4 hour. Then when we got into a head and shoulders pattern going into breaking the neckline, we have now a very interesting head and shoulders pattern that has played out. And I said that what we could do is chop around. We could even create a right shoulder here on Bitcoin, but then hit this liquidity down here in the order block. And so I've been really liking the order block detector. So if you go to TradingView and on any coin, you can see the order blocks on a 4 hour. I like to look at them on the 4 hour because then you get your pattern setups, you get where liquidity's sitting, and you get a lot of these points where it tends to magnet towards these order blocks. It does a pretty good job. So you can, and then look, you can see here, even look, the red and the green, and it creates a range of a trade where Bitcoin likes to bounce around. So I would wager to bet we probably could touch into this area of liquidity again, which was at 81,000. And then if you're really bearish and you want to like kind of know what could be the worst bearish case scenario, would be the 77,000. It would be that low liquidity sitting here because look, you can see the order block at 78,000, but it's revealed itself in this chart right here, in this part of the chart. So this was April 2025 that we actually hit in this order block and even went lower at 74. We did this crazy double bottom W and then went to all-time highs. Then we actually truly went to all-time highs from that point in April. Crazy. So now we're back down into those levels, testing this liquidity, but are we going to make a higher low? Technically, if we hit here and we hit that 80,000, we stopped and we went back up, and then are we going to grab some liquidity back here, or are we going to make a higher low, and then we continue to show strength? Because that's all we need. We need Bitcoin to continue to make higher lows, so then we can make higher highs up at 156, 135. We might have a crazy run of 2 weeks at the very end of the year for the entire crypto space, because that's just what can happen. I mean, it's the perfect setup right now. We're in extreme fear. People are very scared. I mean, if you look at what's going on here, we're in extreme fear. We're at that we're just look. But if you see, every time we've gotten into extreme fear and also extreme fear in the stock market, we have recovered. And we're going to show you some really cool charts here. So stick with me, guys. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you share this live stream. We are, educating and also giving you the news. We're going to give you some recent news to pull up, all the things that are happening to keep track of this week and the rest of the month. But these charts are awesome, though. Let me pull them up really quick. These charts are great. Hold on a second. All right, check this out. So basically, it represented in the stock market, stocks spend most of their time recovering and making new highs. So represented in this particular chart, there we go. That was weird. If you see here, going all the way back into 1956, you can see that most of the bull markets last way longer in a macro and last 50 months as opposed to a 12-month bear market or an 18-month bear market. So a bear market could last a year, can last a year and some change, but the overall trend and the overall macro trend is that it spends way more time making new highs into the next cycle, because the way that our money system is set up now is based on fiat debt and and other countries buying the debt, holding the debt, the bonds, and hopes to they get yield in return. But the currency has been debased, and that has not really been the case now. And so what do investors do? What is the stock market basically based on is to get a return on your fiat debased currency. Because if you're not going to get any return at all, your savings account, your CDs, all that stuff is not enough of a percentage to beat the inflation. Maybe back when we didn't have this level of inflation, maybe when inflation was maybe actually below 2%, but I don't think it is, because it's probably way more than 10%, because look how expensive things are. Look how much everything went up for all your stuff, your rent, your mortgage, your insurance, all your premiums, all that stuff, everything went up. So how do you beat it? You have to be compounding into what's been used since back in the 50s is stock market making new all-time highs. And this is basically on the representing the S&P 500. But then you go into bull and bear markets, the S&P 500 index from February 2000. Let's see, this is from February 2015. So look, bull and bear facts is an average gain in the bull market is 155%, okay? Average length of the bull market is 50 months. An average loss in the bear market is only 27%, and the average length of it is 14 months. So the point is to not freak out during these points, because history, which is not representative of future results, has shown us that we've just been continuing to make new highs out of said doom crashes. This has also been the same, and very much so, with BTC drawdowns from all-time highs, because the drawdown doesn't normally last very long. You can see it only lasts for about maybe 12 months. And then you get a period from, 2012 going all the way up to 2014, a quote, way longer of a bull market than we had a bear. You can say the same thing here from when it peaked in 2014, right here, going into 2015, it kind of bottomed out there, and then it just had a nice, just steady uptrend going into 2017 and 18, which was the peak. Way longer of a trend of a bull market. And then here, I think going into 2020 is where it starts to get a little tricky, because obviously we had a lot of different geopolitical things happening. We had COVID, it was just like, it's insane. So much stuff was happening. And then going into the election years, pre-election, even crazier. So all of the unravelings of different exchanges, main characters going down. I mean, you could just go down the list. Different blockchains going belly up, banks getting liquidated. I mean, it was just a nightmare. So it makes sense that it doesn't really look like, you know, these mega spikes. It's more like it's just stretched. But it makes sense with all of the setups, with regulatory clarity, all of those things that we've talked about, that is giving us this type of volatility. So I think the message here today is to not be too worried, and I think you are going to be stressed if you're trading this, and because it's swinging. You know, Bitcoin went down a lot in 4 hours. You know, it was just same type of, you know, sweeping liquidation events that we've just been seeing. And yo, we got Julie in the house. Let's go. But yeah, look at this. I mean, it just got cooked for a little bit. But we talked about it last night. So if you're bullish crypto, you don't really care. Like, you don't care about the prices. You're not too worried about the price. Like, if you're bullish crypto and you've been in here long enough, like, you know what's strong, you know what looks good, and when things start to, quote, look good, what just runs, even in speculation alone. If you've been in crypto long enough, it's just like the stock market. You got like tech stocks booming. It kind of naturally trickles into things that could even be just pure speculation alone. It could not even be delivering a product, and it could just be pure speculation alone. But a prime example of something that is delivering something that was like, quote, in the stock market that pumped like a crypto was Circle. We had a couple different crypto related stocks that went up 350, 400% on the initial IPO. So it's yeah, Bitcoin looks good here. Yeah, I mean, if this is the thing, if you are bullish crypto, you get even more bullish when we have days like this, when it just looks terrible. But we just have to know that it all kind of links up with, we got Jerome Powell speaking today. We have the speech today. What to expect for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and alts? Well, it's going to be volatile as hell. So you could either use this opportunity, if you are a trader, you could be, you know, quote, looking at these potential bottoms and saying like, okay, you know, there's definitely going to be something, you know, there's definitely a trade setup here. So yeah, so Bitcoin's, you know, crashing below 86, has wiped out $144 billion in the market as traders react to Fed Chair Powell's speech. Altcoins, ETH, XRP, and Sol follow the sell-off. There's some China FUD. Whale moves to USDT, and high BTC leverage fueled the crypto crash. And so, yeah, everyone's just kind of awaiting what Jerome Powell is going to say. And when is this meeting? So Eastern. Oh, okay. So it's at 4 p.m. So we got some time. So the crypto crash comes as investors brace for Powell's remarks scheduled for 4 p.m. today. Traders are watching closely because his comments could impact the next move of Bitcoin and alts for the next few months. So we know, based on the Poly market and also the CME group and the Fed Watch, that we're going to get a cut. But is he going to be hawkish and still push us into a, quote, QT for 2026? I don't know. I doubt it. But we know that Trump has signaled who he wants as the Fed replacement for Jerome Powell. And Jerome Powell's supposed to still be the Fed chair until May. So there could be some monkey wrenches tossed up in here, but we just have to take it as an opportunity because we know crypto, at least in our crazy world that we're in here, that crypto is not going anywhere. It's only going to get stronger and be more of a disruptor. So if prices are like this right now, this is just a golden opportunity. You just have to be buying the blood. I don't know what other, like, you know, someone said, oh, well, you should do more education videos and blah, blah, blah. You know, I can do that. I will do that. I have done that. But the best thing I can do right now is just be like, hey, you just need to be looking at crypto in general. Just get on coinmarketcap.com, get on TradingView, start looking at the charts. Get on your phone and look at your PayPal and your Venmo and see the cryptos that are available. Look at how much they've updated all of the tech and the user interface to be able to get people to at least look at the fact that you can buy crypto on Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, all these different apps. And people still aren't doing it. That's what's funny. I talked to someone last night and he was like, I see it on my Venmo and my pay, but he's like, I just haven't. He's like, you know, I could just take all my gig money and just start buying it, right? And I'm like, yes. Yes. That's why it's so crazy that it's still, retail still hasn't even when it's right there. It's because of this. Why is crypto crashing today? Why is crypto crashing? It's always crashing. It's always crashing. But that's just kind of how I feel. It's just at a point when Bitcoin's at $1 million per coin, the price right now means nothing. That's kind of how I want to think about it. And I want to think about that in terms of my Ethereum and my Ethereum bags or what I'm holding on Solana. Like just imagine what Bitcoin and what the crypto space is going to be when Bitcoin is $1 million per coin. You think it's not possible, but I'm going to be investing and figuring this crypto game out for the next 15, 20 years, however long. Julie says, is the bear in the room with us? I don't know, Julie. What do you think? What do you think, Julie? Of course it is. There's 4 people watching. No one cares right now. There's people are so upset, and then I already was having a hard time with my algorithm, and then now the crypto markets are crashing. It's either people are going to really then become massive gamblers to try and get all their money back, or they're going to finally double down on 4 coins and just become a delusional bull. We'll just have to see. But yeah, Julie cares. Julie cares because she's here. But I have noticed though, I feel like I've lost like half of my audience. Either my tone has become too aggressive and they're like, calm down. Or people are just not watching. They're just not watching. They're just not watching. But it's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. So 4 p.m. speech on Powell. We got a couple of videos that we want to show here. One of them is with Tom Lee. Want to just remind you guys again, we have that speech today. Signal enhanced liquidity for crypto assets like Bitcoin. Dovish tone from Powell may heighten rate cut probabilities, supporting altcoin performance. Market data shows an 87% chance of the rate cut. Julie, Tony Trump. Okay, yeah, we got Tony Trump in the house. Let's go. He said, I'm here to buy. People got rinsed this cycle. Worst bull ever. Yeah. I got pretty cooked myself. What's a little like, I'll be honest. Like I actually did really well with my strategy. All the things that I bought did really well. Some of them did, obviously, like in a lot of the case with our portfolio. I bet your portfolio was probably at its all-time high around January, right? And you either saw that as an opportunity to skim off whatever. You could be like, I'm just taking half. I don't even like whatever. I don't care. I'm just going to like hedge against this because this looks too good to be true. Or you are a person that doubled down. You doubled down. You like got even more. You bought even more at the top. You thought because Trump became president right there, like it was just going to be golden age, but no, we actually got the opposite. We got like tariff scare. We got war. We had like all kinds of stuff happening, and it was like a Trump pump then dump. So, but if you didn't sell anything, then you're okay. But a lot of people probably sold. They sold at a loss. I sold things at a loss. Yeah, Julie said, I thought we would 10x from January. No, we went 10x down. we went to zero. Some things went to zero. I mean, the altcoins got cooked. And then to make matters even worse, we get into October and we're supposed to be Pumptober, and we got Wrecktober. The market went down to 2022 lows. So I can imagine why people look at crypto the way they do, why even people that are in crypto now look at crypto the way they do, because it's kind of been a nightmare. But it comes with the territory, my friends. This is where you have to not be a pansy. You have to understand that you're investing in one of the biggest disruptors of technology and finance in the history of the world. And if you don't realize that and you think it's just like stupid magic internet money and you're just like, oh, I'm just playing the game because I don't know if crypto is going to go to zero or not, so I'll just trade it. I think that is not a good outlook, because that's how crypto was back in the day. It was like, okay, I'll trade crypto, but I don't really know if the government's going to put me in jail or ban stuff or sue me or not if I'm involved, or if I make a company. That we're over that point now in crypto. Like we're in the point now where it's like it's an obvious trade that it's going to be a complete, like it's going to absorb so much of the financial liquidity because of the nature of what it is. So our job is to invest in these networks and to get the best asymmetric upside in history. This is why we're here. But we have to know that it's going to be volatile. There's going to be these crazy 90% drawdowns. There's going to be all these things that are going to make us get tuck and roll, bank out, whatever, bail. But the people that stuck through, quote, 10 years ago until now with Bitcoin or whatever, what Ethereum, any of these that you got a good, you came in early to experience the volatility, you made out pretty damn good. I mean, you are then in an example that we'll play this video with Powell. He was on Lex Friedman recently, and he explained, he was like, look, all these things that fund my lifestyle, it's not Telegram. It's not these companies that I started, because these are money losing companies for me. He's like, these things drain money from me. But he's like, the way that I'm able to fund it and not care is because I invested in Bitcoin over time. For years, that he was like, I believed in it. People said I was stupid. They were like, I'm so sorry for you. Because I think he invested a couple $1 million at like $750 a Bitcoin. And it went down. He probably went down and lost a few million right off the bat. And they were like, oh, well, good luck. And now, now just imagine what his Bitcoin wallets look like. And he just has liquid money that he can do whatever the heck he wants with. Let's watch this clip.
Another thing we've talked about, which I think is a fascinating topic, is the power of the mind, power of thought. Do you believe you can affect your life?
This is not the clip. Hold on. Sorry, hold on. There it is. I was watching a few of these clips.
Let me ask you about crypto in general. So you've been an early supporter of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin. You've bought into Bitcoin early on. You kept buying. Maybe you could speak to the reasoning why you kept buying Bitcoin. Do you think Bitcoin will go to $1 million? Do you think it'll keep increasing? And Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies.
I was a big believer in Bitcoins since more or less the start of it. I got to buy my first few thousand of Bitcoin in 2013, and I didn't care much. I think I bought at the local maximum. It's something like $700 per Bitcoin. And I just threw a couple of millions there. And a lot of people after Bitcoin later next year went down, somewhere close to 300, 200, started to express their sympathy to me. They say, oh, you poor fellow, you made this horrible mistake investing in this new thing, but don't feel bad about it. We still have some respect for you. And my response to them was, I don't care. I'm not going to sell it. I believe in this thing. I think this is the way money should work.
See, I'm an idiot. I sold mine and I tried to trade mine. I'm not going to make that mistake again. I made I made some serious mistakes during these past couple years where I go back and I think if I were to add up all the Bitcoin that I accumulated that I could have right now, oh my gosh. I would drop kick myself. I would like WrestleMania drop kick myself off the top of the cage. Just woo. I don't know, what would you do with your past self if you were able to go back in time? Would you be nice to that person, or would you be coming through the portal with the karate kick?
Nobody can confiscate your Bitcoin from you. Nobody can censor you for political reasons. This is the ultimate means of exchange. And again, I'm now talking about Bitcoin, but it relates to cryptocurrencies in general. So I have been able to fund my lifestyle, so to say, from my Bitcoin investment. Some people think if I'm able to rent nice locations or fly private, it's because I somehow extract money from Telegram. But like I said, Telegram is a money-losing operation for me personally. Bitcoin is something that allowed me to stay afloat. And I believe it will come to a point when Bitcoin is worth $1 million. Just look at the trends. The governments keep printing money like no tomorrow. Nobody's printing Bitcoin. There's a predictable inflation, and then it stops. It's a certain point. Bitcoin is here to stay. All the fiat currencies remains to be seen.
AI Griff, don't you dare rub it in. No, you did pretty good. I will say that was pretty good. That wasn't bad. I would say well, if you want to call the bottom here on Bitcoin, let's look. Let's look at old Bitcoin right here. But look, so I like that clip of Powell talking about how he's like, look, if I held Bitcoin long enough to be able to fund my lifestyle now. It's not from my actual companies, but But that's what's going to be interesting about some of these cryptos that we buy, because it's not guaranteed. I mean, obviously, like, it is not guaranteed. This whole thing could potentially go to zero. We don't know 100%. Obviously, no one knows 100%. Like, if we have to be honest with ourselves, we don't know 100%. We have a good feeling and an intuition and an instinct about this. Like, I'm willing to bet on it. Like, in my mind, I'm like 99% sure that crypto is going to be around for a long time. Now, the 0.01 is that I don't know what the heck is going to be around in the next 10 years, because we've seen things die, we've seen things survive, and the things that we thought were going to be around end up not being around in a few years, and the things that you never thought were going to still be around, like a lot of people thought Dogecoin, especially the Bitcoin maxis or people that didn't care about meme coins, they thought meme coins were stupid and make fun of you for holding a dog coin or whatever it is, or frog coin, whatever it may be. They ended up having the last laugh, and now Shiba Inu and Dogecoin have more of a market cap than some of these vaporware fundamental tokens on the market. So this is what is so intriguing about crypto, is that you can be fundamentalist all day and buy Bitcoin and buy XRP and all this stuff and just be like, oh, I'm going to buy the tech. I'm going to buy Cardano. But what the heck? There's a freaking dog coin called Dogecoin that is in the top 10. Right under it is another dog coin called Shiba Inu. And then you have something called Pepe, which is a freaking frog. And these things are getting more trading volume than some of these fundamental tokens that have been on the market preaching that, you know, it's the best tech ever. So this is what is very intriguing to me about crypto, is that, you know, we do need to think about the tech and the fundamentals and thinking about holding Bitcoin for as long as we can to hopefully experience that volatility of it going to $1 million per coin or $500,000 per coin. Same with the Ethereum. Same with Dogecoin. The people that bought Doge when it was under a cent, it was like 0.001. That was not that long ago, and it's at 13 cents. Those people are still benefiting off the profits of Dogecoin if they had able to hold through the crazy volatility. Same with SHIB. Same with SHIB, and SHIB actually exceeded expectations of a quote Doge killer, even was branding itself as a Doge killer. But the difference with this is it hit mind share of the collective of what happened with Doge. And then there was like a massive campaign. You got SHIB going up in Times Square. The brand, it took over. I think that's still going to happen with some of these other coins. It's just, we don't know exactly, but that's what is the fun about the, you know, that's what makes it, you know, hate to say it, makes it fun. Because if you do figure it out, you manage to actually figure it out. You manage to actually make money. And what's beautiful about crypto is that you don't have to off ramp into fiat cash. You don't have to off ramp into fiat cash. The whole point of crypto is as education to you guys and new people watching, if you haven't invested yet. The whole point of crypto is to be able to have liquid money on multiple networks to access at 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't have to ask permission. You don't have to wait for the weekend for the bank to open. You can just do stuff, okay? That's what crypto is all about. So that's what we have to get to that point. It's just it's liquid money, but there is a hierarchy of liquid because you get into liquidity, get into, you know, what is actually going to be the most liquid networks. That's what we have to. That's why we have to just be testing out this stuff. This is like testing out the new internet before everyone started to use it just default on everything, ordering stuff, incorporating it with their business. Crypto's that same trade. Crypto's the same trade, but on a nuclear scale, I think, and we're underestimating it. Or maybe you're not, but I think the retail in terms of the crypto trade is massively undervalued. So the things that I've been focusing on has been pretty basic. I want now it's a great time to get some more Bitcoin, because basically Bitcoin is back at around my average cost basis was around between 70K and 80 and 90K, because from 70 to 90K was when I was finally getting a little bit more access to capital to DCA. And so that was my average cost. So if I start buying it back now, I'm at the same levels I was buying. So I mean, I'm not going to be too mad, because I think that what people were getting mad about, they're like, dang it, I became bullish on Bitcoin at right now it's over 100K, and you're buying it at, we're buying it at premium. But and the same with ETH, people finally started to get bullish on ETH, and it was getting back to all-time highs, and then it went right back down to 2,700. And then you get bearish on it, and you don't buy it at 2,700, but this is when you should be buying it. So this is how you have to just reverse your psychology. Same with Sol. People buying Sol over $200. They're like, oh, Sol looks good here. And then now it's back at 124, and you're not buying it at 124. We got to flip the script. And know in these points, especially, AVAX in the peak of each altcoin season has went to over $100. I think the previous one was close to $100. It was like 75, but it peaked at $160 for one AVAX. It's $12 right now. This is the same with like Chainlink. Like Chainlink's $12 right now. Any of those fundamental altcoins that rip whenever we get into quote our good times. It's gonna probably, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna sideline a lot of people. I just hope, this is the time right now, guys, that even just a couple $100 of DCA into these things that are like this, your portfolio is going to look crazy, even just with the couple $100. So if you got completely cooked, you traded all your crypto away, or you had to sell it all, or you just feel like, oh my gosh, what do I even do? What did you come in here to do? You came into this new money system to figure it out. So continue to do it. So honestly, buying now or buying where AI Griff is saying that if ETH goes under 2K, are you going to be selling ETH? No, you probably would think to buy some. Same with Sol. Sol goes to $100. Are you going to buy some? I mean, I'm still pretty bullish on all this stuff. And yeah, Zera, I'm bullish on Zera. I think this stack that they got going on, we're actually going to pull up this where is it? Yeah. So they posted a couple last week. Said a quick tour of the Zera stack. This is a private digital cash on Solana using the Zera protocol and their dashboard, and this is kind of what they're working on. So protocol and unified pool, so live mainnet internal testing, so direct deposit ZK cash with USDC, USDT, and Sol plus more on Solana to start. And then you have it can extend to other networks and execution stacks over time. So what they're trying to do is to where you can use BTC as well, and ETH and Sol, and then certain tokens on I would imagine on that particular rail. And then they have a dashboard, so you'll have a dashboard that you can use on your browser, or possibly that you can just download. It probably could be a dashboard, like an extension. So It says the first interface into that pool, mint redeem notes, wire usage into Zera burn economics. So there's going to be a buy and burn mechanism already accomplished through a smart contract with this. Then they're going to have wallets. So in progress, the ISO Android browser integration flows with private transactions, shielded balances and daily spend with full offline note management. So the what they're trying to do here with their roadmap is to be able to build something that you can do offline and offline shielded transactions that businesses can do with their infrastructure, but then just from peer to peer, you want to send to Sally and Joe, whoever, you have a hardware wallet as well, dedicated Zera hardware wallet for high assurance signing and offline cash handling, and this could be pretty cool. So when you're invested in network effects, if you're bullish Solana and you think, okay, things like this are being built on Solana, you're just going to try and track all these things down. Track them down, test it out, see what's going on, and that is your best bet in going into the next few years. Don't think about things in 3-month cycles or 2-month whatever cycles. Like, we need to be looking at this as a super macro trade. And what is going to be the biggest narratives going into the future? Well, it's autonomous AI control. It is private cash, being able to send it offline and offline if systems go down, stores of value that are compared to gold and silver and precious metals. So that's growing into these crypto networks are becoming a quote store of value because it's what's providing the energy, So that's what we are focusing on going into the rest of this year and next year and the next 10 years. And another thing to point out is all the ETFs. So I think this coupled with the ETFs we're going to have an ETF super cycle. So the ETF super cycle is all based on, we have Bitcoin inflows coming in hot now. Think about it. Think about what the prices are right now. And these companies are needing to have Bitcoin and ETH to service the ETFs that all the boomers and the TradFi accounts and the 401ks, Vanguard, Fidelity, all these institutions and these brokerages are going to have, and people are interested. People have $500,000 or more in their 401ks if they've been working a job for the past 10, 15 years and compounding interest into it. Now they're wanting to get exposure into crypto, but they just don't know how to do it. And some people aren't going to download a wallet. They're not going to learn about the seed phrase. They're not going to do any of that. And what's interesting, you think about this with the ETFs, but then you think about what Ethereum is doing with the Fusaka upgrade. This upgrade is going to be to where you don't have to do a seed phrase anymore. You'll just be able to biometric your wallet, and you won't have to remember the seed phrase. It'll just be by your biometric. And this is going to be really interesting to see. So let's get into a little bit of this Fusaka upgrade. Let's get a little bit more info. So Ether outperforms Bitcoin in quarter 3. So early in quarter 3, Bitcoin showed a resurgence of bullish sentiment. Let me see the Fusaka. Is it in here? Where's it at? Oh, this article faked me out. I was supposed to have that. That Fusaka upgrade. I lost the Fusaka upgrade article. But yeah, comboed with that, you get more better. Did I just say more better? Yeah, I did. More better user experience. You think that's what a lot of people with the crypto, they're like, what a seed phrase. I gotta to copy and paste this freaking string of addresses. If I screw it up, I'll lose my money. Think about it. That is probably one of the biggest blocks and barriers of entry for the average person. That's why they use the systems that are just put in place for them, like the banks, like the things. And, you know, maybe, yeah, we were using Venmo and Cash App and PayPal and stuff like that. But like I said, people are still not even trying to just buy crypto from their balance on PayPal or Venmo. It's there, but they're still not doing it. So what's going to get people to start going into, quote, the new money system? Because at some point, the fiat cash system is going to be no more. It will be no more. It's all going to be on chain. Everything is going to be crypto. So holy moly. All right. We got a couple more videos that we want to play, and then we're going to end the live stream. Thanks for tuning in.
At Fundstrat and Chief Investment Officer of Fundstrat Capital, as well as a CNBC contributor. He's a calm person that doesn't get too excited or worried. But this is not a portentous start for December, given what you were thinking. Although I remember last time you were on, Tom, you said good year-end action, but rocky in the near term. That was about 2 weeks ago, and we've certainly seen that. But you still bullish on crypto and stocks going into year-end?
I am. I think the biggest tailwind that's going to emerge in the next couple of weeks is around the central bank. The Fed is set to cut in December, but also today is the day that quantitative tightening ends. And as you know, the Fed's been shrinking its balance sheet since April 2022. It's been a pretty big headwind for market liquidity. The last time we had an end to QT, quantitative tightening, was September 2019. And if you look back at that period, the markets really responded well. I think within 3 weeks rallied more than 17%. So I do think the timing of QT ending, which is now essentially QE starting, and the Fed, and at a time when November kind of was topsy-turvy, so I think people got cautious, but now have to performance chase, and then you have a really typically a seasonal tailwind. So I'm pretty bullish into December, even with maybe the first day being rocky.
Yep. So it's still all about the Fed for you, because I was thinking there is a time when a market can hit an inflection point where the reason the Fed is cutting becomes a problem for the markets. That's what I thought. With the jobs and everything else, there might come a time where purely Fed cuts or the backdrop is that there is some weakness in the market, in the economy. You don't see that?
I mean, I'd say that the shutdown put a blackout on data, and I think that created a bit of anxiety because, you know, markets like visibility. But to me, the fact that claims have been behaving and the September jobs report kind of showed a bit of a recovery. I think the labor market's probably holding fine, but the Fed doesn't want that to worsen. But I think the inflation story has actually weakened a lot. So to me, the Fed would be cutting for the right reasons, which is as they look at the next 12 months, the tariff inflation impacts are fading, but there's risk on the job market. So, I mean, I think it's cutting for the right reason, which is, you know, real rates are tightening if they don't cut.
Here's what concerned me about a couple of weeks ago, Tom, with the market's behavior, and that was watching all of the AI high flyers dip and drop, and pretty precipitously in some cases, because it looked like the Fed wasn't going to cut. That raised questions about what was happening in the private markets, and it made me start to wonder, okay, are we looking at a lot of business models that don't work if the Fed doesn't continue to cut rates? Are these the business models that are driving and powering the market right now? That's the one thing that made me sit up and say, that's a little different.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of soul searching, Becky, in November, because we know leverage rose, and we know there was deleveraging in some markets like crypto, and we know margin debt's high. And I think that there was essentially a reset in November because the market had a 6% decline, but the AI stocks and the meme names and a lot of other names fell even more. So I think that position reset has been healthy, and I think many fund managers we talked to in November, in the midst of all that, kind of threw in the towel, thought the rest of the year was sort of a write-off, and And now if December is strong, there's going to be a bit of performance chasing. And I think that's what you should typically expect in the final weeks of the year.
I thought it was when we saw Bitcoin sell off and sort of the high flyers sell off on the notion that Powell got hawkish at that one, whatever it was, that one meeting. And then Williams totally turned that around. And the Fed futures jumped, and it became clear they're definitely cutting again. And we got very little for that. Bitcoin should be back at 100 if it really is totally dependent on Fed easing. And if it's a debasement trade, which people say it is, we didn't get much for now. Everybody, you're sure that they're going to cut now. There was a time where we thought they weren't going to cut. What do we get for going back to cutting mode?
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin and crypto have been disappointing because they really took it in the gut in mid-October and then kind of got hit again when, you're right, when the odds of a Fed cut dropped, Bitcoin fell. And then now that the odds have recovered of a cut, they haven't quite recovered. I mean, I think that that's still the lingering effects of that deleveraging that happened on October 10th. It's not that different than the wipeout that happened in 2022 with FTX. That took 8 weeks. So we're kind of emerging from that. That's 7 weeks in the rearview mirror. So maybe in another week or two, I think crypto has fully washed out, and that's when it starts to participate.
Yeah, wipeout's a bad word. If you could pick another one next time, Tom,
Yeah.
we don't. You had very aggressive targets for the S&P and Bitcoin by the end of the year. I mean, it'd be crazy to hit the Bitcoin target, for example. I don't know what that was. But 7,000 on the S&P is still something you think that can happen this year?
Yeah, I mean, 7,000 is only 2% for S&P. From here, I think 5% or maybe even 10% is possible in December. So I think a 7,200, 7,300 is likely for S&P.
Ask you not to do that. You're giving me a target and a time. Don't. It's not good for your career. Don't do that. You're going to be wrong one of these times. But you don't care, do you? You've been right enough.
Well, I'm just looking at probabilities. But you're right. We've been wrong plenty of times, Joe. So I'm okay being wrong too.
Okay. I never have been, really. I don't think so. That would be a big shocker. It happens to all of us. How about Bitcoin? Would you think you'd be happy with 100 if it got back by the end of December, wouldn't you?
Yeah. In fact, I think it was looking good, like you said, over the weekend, and then we got a decline. Sorry. Maybe because the Bank of Japan looks hawkish.
Yeah.
But I don't think the 4-year cycle. I don't think the Bitcoin high is in place. But you're right. We were too optimistic about this happening by December. But I do think Bitcoin can make an all-time high by the end of January. So I don't think we should think the highs are in place for Bitcoin or Ethereum or crypto. So
yeah, my call was that we were gonna go to 135 by the end of the year. That was like my best case scenario for Bitcoin, is that we would hit if you guys remember, we were talking about it and we said 135 by the end of the year. If we can get that pot, we could just get that consolidation, whatever the heck the low is going to be, from making it like a higher low. And then this was our price call, 135. We had it marked on this purple line. That was our, if we pop and we just we get our Santa rally, the Fed gives us what we want to kind of forward look into 2026, because that's really why if there's any shakiness with what Powell was going to say, it's because it's dictating the what companies can do, how they can plan for the future, and that's how you have to look at crypto. So it's how is 2026 going to look? Is there going to be a quote bear market in 2026, or is this just the mini bear market inside of a bigger bull macro trend? That's how you have to look at it. So you know, you're either on the side that this is just a little consolidation, not, you know, not like a dump crazy, nothing crazy, and this is just a perfect setup to service the ETFs for all the accounts coming in, to service the treasuries. Like, I mean, just all the stuff that's being set up with Bitcoin probably behind the scenes that we don't even know about could be driving a lot of this end of year price action. But we got to get past the Fed meeting. We got to get past the, you know, Jerome Powell speaking. And yeah, we could get a nice we could get a nice bounce up end of year. And it looks like the trajectory that we could have if we hit right here and we bottom out here, or we pump from here. I could see just basically on the inverse trading into, as you see, now we're on the 23rd, we're on the 24th, 25th, Christmas rally, and we just we could potentially match into this being the end of the year trade. Bitcoin hits an all-time high at the end of the year, $135,000 per Bitcoin. I mean, best case scenario, obviously, but it's not going to just go straight up there. There's probably, I mean, look, this month will probably be one of the most volatile months of the year, and I'm very curious to see because really, if you think about it, like we said, the BTC ratio charts, like ETH BTC, actually doesn't look too bad. It actually looks really good. If you look at it, it looks really good. Like we're in the freaking like buy zone right now, basically. Like this is the buy zone. And then when you start to look into you go to the daily chart, like this is like, I see this as like, look, we buy here and we DCA out here. You know, we buy here, DCA out here. We should have been buying heavy right here, like crazy, and then selling here. But now that we're in a different part of the market structure, now we can flip it and say, okay, now that we've could potentially see some exhaustion of selling, buy here, and we start to think about DCAing out when we get into this ratio. Same with the Sol BTC ratio. Look, we're at this bottom point. This is your buy. This is you're buying Sol at these lows. You're buying your native asset tokens, on Sol. And then once we start getting back up to here, like look at how it was in 2022, and then look at how it was here, but then go back on the previous bull market, 2021. This is where I think we're going to be heading up to in terms of the trajectory for Sol, especially with the ETFs. And you'd be DCAing out here. DCA out. Same in XRP. But look at this though. Look at that wick that happened with XRP. You didn't see that on Sol. You didn't see that on BTC. But look at the XRP to BTC. Look at how they freaking wicked the crap out of that thing. Nasty. Yeah, you can blame Binance for that. And then look, ADA, same thing. Same thing. That ratio got wicked as well. Link, cooked. AVAX, cooked. But what's interesting is Sol, that did not happen. ETH, that did not happen. Completely different. Litecoin happened with Litecoin. Yeah, and so that type of yield is going to probably do better than what your cash savings account yield would be. If you could, because that's real staking yield that you can earn on most of the wallets that have Sol. So like you can stake it on Phantom. I think Trust Wallet, you can stake it. MoonPay, you can stake it. You can stake it on Robinhood. So that's the whole point with the staking protocols, is to be able to generate some yield You have a pool of people that are inside of this thing, and hopefully if the tokenomics are sound, then everyone is actually able to benefit from being inside of these pools, staking pools, and et cetera, et cetera. But with some of the SOL, I think the max SOL staking that you can get, what is it, like 10? Is it 10% or what is it? I think it's like 7 to 10%. What is it? What is it on Robinhood? What's the staking percentage on Robinhood? Is it like around 7? Is it like 7? Is it 7%? I would say it's probably an average between 7 and 10%. When you start getting into the 15, 20%, that's getting into the lower, you know, some of the lower chains. Like I know Polkadot was giving 20% at one point. They might still be doing that. Yeah. So then you think, okay, you have to figure in the growth rate of some of these coins that you're staking. So if you're staking in, you're earning 7%, you're getting a little bit more, but then you are staking it right now, and then you're, you know, going into the altcoin season, then you're compounding in a way that you would like. But if you're starting your staking journey at quote the top of the altcoin season, it kind of works backwards in your favor, because then all that you just staked, you know, it's down. You're like 50% down on your stake, but then you're earning 7%. It's like you lost money, you know. So there are times that it's better to do this, obviously, you know. That's why we would like to buy low and sell high, but we do have to at the same time not become a trader. We become a macro long-term investor, but we at least try our best to buy when it looks like garbage. And then we sell when everyone is getting FOMO and they're like, oh, it looks good here. But we don't want to be selling all of it, right? Because if we want to be having liquid cash like Pavel Durov was able to fund all of his lifestyle, which is a pretty crazy lifestyle, is because he was able to hold long enough. So can we do it, my friends? I hope we can. All right. Well, I hope you guys have had fun today. I hope you enjoyed your Monday so far. Thanks for tuning in with me. Really appreciate it. I think that's all we wanted to cover today. That's pretty much it. We could look at some trending tokens right now on chain if you guys want to for just the last couple minutes. On ETH right now, the trending tokens for ETH is Ondo, SPX 6900, MOG, Pepe, Uniswap, Rect, Chainlink. We have the Punk Strategy token, Punkstar. We have Say, MPC, Curve, Kendu, Wojak, Mantle. Hex on ETH is starting to come back up. We have Bitcoin, ticker Bitcoin is in that trending list on ETH. You guys remember Ocean Protocols, the Ocean token, Pendle. A lot of the RWA stuff is probably going to be a decent trade going into next year. Then we have, you guys are like Turbo. So Turbo, if you guys remember, Turbo has some cool lore. Turbo was the first AI generated project. Before all the AI craze, before all the AI generated stuff, Turbo was the OG AI generative NFT project and / token. Like the AI made the Toad character, and the guy basically, you know, he was like on his last rope. He was like, man, you know, as a creator, it's just been really tough. And this thing like changed his life, you know, basically, you know, retired him. So Really cool story with Turbo. I love that lore. I love the story. I think we played that video of the creator explaining, you know, the creation of it, you know, and ultimately where it went. I like stuff like that. I think that's really cool. So maybe when ETH starts to pump again, you know, we'll see. I you know, probably see some turbo action. Then we have Linnea. Okay, so you got to think about Linnea, Ligea, whatever. It is the chain that is being used with the MetaMask debit card, but then they're also doing the airdrop. You get the rewards. The rewards that you get for using MetaMask is going to be used to get in your airdrop. Linnea is also being used for the Swift banking system to help with their blockchain. Could be something to look into for the next few years. Then look, we got SHIB. I think SHIB is still going to be just as strong as what Doge is doing right now. It's been able to stay in the top 20 all through this volatility. I would probably pay attention to it. We got we got Polygon ecosystem. I love Pol. I think Pol, in terms of a chain that has other tokens on it that you can hold liquid and has a lot of liquidity. Like if you want to hold Render token on Polygon or Chainlink or something like that, like you can hold it on Polygon. And you can have cheaper fees, and it's great. And then there's a lot of cool gaming ecosystem tokens on Pol that you can hold, like Nakamoto Games and Medieval Empires and all that stuff. Like those are the ones that I'm pretty bullish on, but they use the Polygon ecosystem. And then in tandem with Polygon, if you're bullish on that, you'd be bullish on IMX, which is Immutable. Immutable has their Passport connection, which is like, if you think about like investing in a company that helps build stuff in gaming, it's like, it would be like investing in the back end ecosystems of like freaking Epic Games or the Unreal Engine, like back in the day. That's how you have to think about investing in Immutable and all these different ecosystems in gaming, is like you're investing in the infrastructures that's building and helping these companies do their stuff. So there's actually a lot of a lot of cool stuff in here on the trending first page in the first top 100 here on trending on ETH. You got the Sand token. I think the Metaverse tokens could be coming back. You got BAT, Basic Attention Token, is the token that rewards you for using the Brave browser. We've been trying to connect it, but it's not working with our freaking wallet because we've been using the Brave browser a lot more. Very much a DeFi browser. The Brave wallet is also really good. I like the Brave wallet. It's got multiple networks that you can use. You can use Solana, Bitcoin, ETH, all that stuff. What else is in here? Oh, we got Apu. You know, shout out to the Apu community. All the people that are like major Apu holders, they also hold ticker Bitcoin. They hold Wojak. They hold SPX 6900. They hold just pull up a wallet. We have this wallet. Here's a wallet. They hold Kekius, Wojak, ticker Bitcoin, MPC, Tau, BitTensor. They got a little Mooding in here. Where's the multi-chain? Here's the multi-chain address. Look at all this stuff. They got a little Toshi, Aerodrome. So it's wallets like this that I like to track, because these are accumulating the tokens that I think, you know, when we see that pop on ETH, we see the pop in altcoin season, we get back into the game. These are the things that I think are going to do really well. So yeah, good trending list on ETH right now. Really good. Oh, we missed it. Alluvium. Stuff is going to be coming back. And then we'd love to see, yeah, what's trending on Polygon. We'll see what's trending on Polygon. Oh yeah, QuickSwap. Look, QuickSwap, Chainlink, Aave. We got the Medieval Empires token, like we said. You can buy Sol on Polygon. We got Uniswap. You can hold Uniswap. Curve. What else in here that we're familiar with? Let's see. Oh, look, I don't know about Balancer. I think that Balancer had that massive hack. Let's see. Something that we're familiar. Oh, Telcoin. We were talking about Telcoin the other day. Yeah, looking good. Okay, one more network, and then we are gonna end it, guys. Let's see what is gonna be trending on Solana. Where is it? Am I going crazy? Where's Solana? Oh, there we go. When is MetaMask airdrop? Dude, who freaking knows, man? Who knows? I'm going to be very, yeah, I'll just be very, I hope I'm not disappointed by that. I really want to be excited. I really want to be excited, but it's just, I don't want to be hyping up MetaMask and promoting it and like, and then all of a sudden, you know, my airdrop is like, it's $50. I'm going to be like, I'm gonna be like, babe, the MetaMask airdrop. It was $50. If it was $50, I'm literally just be like, here, babe, just go and get your nails done. Go get your hair done. I will literally just, you can take it. I literally just take it and you can go and just have a day for yourself. Go for it. All right, so on Sol, we got Jupiter. I've been seeing this Pippin. Have you guys seen this Pippin? Oh, what's going on with this Pippin? It's got a crazy amount of volume. Liquidity's 8 mil. And do you guys know what's going on with this Pippin thing? I don't know what's going on with this, but I've seen it a few times. We got 139 whales. A lot of shrimps, got 24,860 shrimps. Was this like okay, so this thing is being revived. So it looks like it was in the ground and then now it looks like potentially could be getting some kind of CTO takeover here. Okay, yeah, I was like, what is, I don't know. I've just been seeing it pop up and I just don't know. I haven't been following it. Okay. Let's see what else here. Let's see. Syrup. Fartcoin. Fartcoin's coming back up. Interesting. Griffin. I haven't heard anything from the Griffin team. I have no idea if this thing is just going to be, if it's trying to just kind of pump to catch a little bit more liquidity or if they're going to actually launch and do something. We got Jito, Staked Soul, Pingu, Radium. Let's see what else. Troll on Sol. We have SPX 6900 Wormhold. Uranus, Orca, Swarms. So I would say, honestly, right here, these tokens right here, these three right here, Uranus, Swarms, and Orca. I don't know why, but I feel like those are going to do well. Helium Network, HNT. If we remember, Helium Network token is based off the Cell Network. Then you got Render. Popcat was one of the highest traded cat tokens on Solana. I don't know if it can reclaim that. Also, along with Cat in a Dog's World, so Mew and Popcat were the two biggest cat tokens, alongside with the dog tokens being Bonk, Whiff, and I guess you can consider Chill Guy as one of the dog tokens. But then Myro. Everyone kind of forgot about Myro. Myro was an airdrop token that was on the first Solana phone along with Bonk because Myro was the Solana CEO or dev or whoever that got the guy, I can't remember his freaking name. That's his dog's name. Let's see what else on Solana. I mean, there's some decent stuff on Solana. Okay, so unstable coin, that one's still just don't know. Oh, is this the Zeus BTCs, the ZBTC? Oh yeah, this is the Zeus BTC. Yeah, ZBTC is Zeus protocol ZBTC. So you can it's on-chain Solana Bitcoin. All right, pretty decent list. Not too bad, but yeah, if you guys want to ever just explore the chain and see what people are, what's trending, what people are actually buying, you can see the scores and stuff. Go to explore.moralis.com and free. You can just click on the home section. You can go to strategy builder, and then there's already suggested strategies. Like you could do trending meme coins, you can do trending RWAs, trending DPIN, trending tokens on DeFi, layer 2. You can build your own strategy. You can pick the network. So like, for instance, if I'm like really wanting to see what people are buying on Polygon, I'll select Polygon. Then I'll go to token basics. Experienced net buyers is a great one to start with. You can do more than 300. Do the time frame for this month and then run the strategy. And you're going to get a list of tokens that you're probably already bullish on. But then you're going to get a list of tokens. Like, for instance, you got this BRLA token. You have Uniswap. You got Lido DAO. You have Sand, Nakamoto Games, Rapsol, Curve, CoinNext. That's just like the first page. This is the experienced buyers buying these tokens on Polygon. Then you can just do that same thing, go to network, then do the same thing and say, all right, I want to see what on for Pulse Chain. Okay, so nothing like that's happening on Pulse Chain unless we could, let me go back to the token basics, experienced net buyers. Let's just see if it's at least 100 experienced net buyers on Pulse Chain right now. Okay, there is. Okay. Grimace, Mandala, ProveX, Yoink, Pulse Chain Tiger, Alien Eddie Records, Mr. Prove. So that's kind of what that's what's been on Pulse. So yeah, so check it out. We used to do this all the time back in the day, and it actually was some of the tokens that I still see on this list I'm still bullish on, so it's great. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hitting the like button. I hope you have a good rest of your Monday. And yeah, just really just start to continue to look at your stuff, see what's performing well. Maybe the things that you're still bullish on and you hold in your bags are not, quote, performing well right now. But look, the entire market just got cooked with liquidation leverage. And so it just scares the entire market. So you just have to be calm, look at the macro trend. And days like this are actually a blessing, really. So GG, everyone. Yes, good game, good game. Really appreciate you coming in. And just remember, like, you guys being here right now early in this game, oh my gosh. Just think about what you are going to be able to do in the next 5 years. You're going to be able to do everything you ever dreamed of. You are going to be able to do everything you ever dreamed of, my friends. I really believe that. So I'm going to put that energy on you, and I'm going to put it on me, and let's continue to work towards that. Because along with that belief, along with that prayer and intention, we're going to put action on it. We're going to do it together. It's all right. Love you guys. Peace out. Have a good rest of your day. Check out all the links in the description. If you want to directly support the channel, when I go to the next cut screen, there's going to be a QR code. If you're watching on your TV, you can scan that QR code, and there's ways that you can support the channel by scanning that QR code. If you go to my X, you can donate. Any way that you'd like to support would be awesome. Keeps the lights on in the studio. And yeah, we just hope you guys got something out of this live stream, and just continue to learn, get better at crypto, learn more about money, and let's use that to take care of our families. All right. See you later. Peace.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworker you're quitting because Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.
This token is the end game. It's the shitcoin of shitcoin. I mean, imagine telling your coworker you're quitting because Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you coin. Boom! Imagine the media reporting on Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, and you. Ticker is Bitcoin, breaking 1 billion market cap. Now, unless you hate money, go ahead and visit
HPOSNI.com.